Ladies and gentlemen, recently the Washington Post put out this story of Ghana welcoming Black Americans that want to relocate and live there. So this is July 4th, 2020. Ghana to Black Americans come home. Will help you build a life here. Kimberly Reese has never visited Ghana, but she is already designing her dream home there. The Ohio mother of five says she doesn't feel safe in the United States. Well, many of us don't. America is one of those places that from a distance it looks good, but when you really see what happens internally, it's not such a great place. I can't even begin to tell you how many foreigners I have spoken to over the years that said they couldn't wait to get here to live. They heard so many great things about America. And then when they got here and saw the racism and how these people function and how stupid they really are, they were disappointed. I can't tell you how many I worked with, and they said America was not what they thought it was. See, they just know how to talk a good game about this place. But when reality sets in, it don't look so good. Okay. Some of us are tired, said Reese. Some of us just want to be in an environment where we don't have to look over our shoulder, where we don't have to worry about our sons getting pulled over. She'd rather focus on floor plans some 6,000 miles away. As the United States again confronts its history of racism, as outrage again erupts over police killings, leaders in Ghana say they're rolling out the welcome mat for Black Americans who want to get away from the turmoil. The government has negotiated with local chiefs to earmark 500 acres of land near the nation's center for newcomers, carving out enough space for about 1,500 families. Survey and registration fees are waived for members of the African diaspora. The effort grew out of a public campaign called the Year of Return, which attracted a record number of tourists to the West African country last year. 4 centuries after the first slave ship reached Virginia, and aims to convert visitors to residents with special land deals. Okay, so they got all kinds of things. A path to citizenship. Oh, okay. We want to remind our kin over there that there is a place you can escape to. Wow. That is Africa. Reese, who owns a public relations agency in Cincinnati, heard about the deal from her close friend and business partner, who is from Ghana. She can work anywhere with the internet connection. Yeah, you sure can. And has tucked away savings from her time in corporate America, where a manager once said her natural hair was inappropriate for the workplace. Now old pain swirls with renewed fears. What if police stop her teenage son on his walk to the recreation center? It isn't like that in Ghana, she said. You don't have to worry about being Black. The number of visitors in 2019 from January to September leaped by 237,000, a 45% increase, according to the Ghana Tourism Authority. Most came from the United States. Officials are building on that upswing with a 10-year program launched in June to entice people to keep their talents and money in Ghana. Outreach has ramped up since the killing of George Floyd in the custody of Minneapolis police. which set off protests worldwide, including in Ghana's capital. Uh huh. Okay. So the president sent the country's traditional kente cloth to Floyd's family after his funeral in Houston. Mourners held their own memorial for the slain American in seaside Accra, chanting some of his last words, "I can't breathe." We continue to open our arms and invite all our brothers and sisters home. Okay, Barbara Otang, Ghana's tourism minister, said in a televised ceremony, "Build a life in Ghana. You do not have to stay where you are not wanted forever." Ghana has extended such invitations for decades. After the country declared independence from Britain in 1957, the first Prime Minister, Kwame Nkrumah, received a series of American civil rights leaders. He thought the independence of Ghana was meaningless without the total liberation of people of African descent everywhere in the world, said Kevin Gaines, a professor of civil rights and justice at the University of Virginia. Martin Luther King Jr. was one of the first guests. He told his congregation and had urged them to come and help build the new nation. Wow, it goes all the way back to King with Ghana. Well, that's some deep information there. A handful of Americans accepted the mission, among Pauli Murray, a prominent activist and lawyer who landed at the Ghana School of Law. She lacked professional opportunities and ended up helping Ghana develop its legal and constitutional infrastructure, said Gaines, who wrote a book about that period. The movement stalled after a coup ousted, the president in 1966. Today, roughly 3,000 Americans live in Ghana. Some view the arrivals as wealthy outsiders in the country where 30% of the population live on less than $3.20 per day. The government has urged people to stop calling them foreigners. Previous marketing campaign cast the Americans as brothers and sisters. Not everyone feels welcome. Colonial era law still criminalizes homosexuality. The rule is rarely enforced, but LGBT activists in Ghana say it feels discrimination and harassment. Leaders play up other cultural and economic selling points, promoting lower costs, glittering shorelines, and early investment opportunities in developing industries. Travel restrictions during the pandemic haven't chilled interest, said Maurice Cheatham, who runs a tour company in Accra. People are angry about Floyd and others who met violent ends at the hands of law enforcement, about the coronavirus killing disproportionately high numbers of Black Americans, about President Trump retweeting a video that featured a supporter yelling white power. With the political climate, people are really looking to get here as soon as they can, Cheatham said. One is Kendra Parker, 42, who spent this last week packing up her house in Detroit. The music publicist fell in love with Accra when she visited in 2018 and planned to return for 2 months this spring. Her fiance grew up there. Then the pandemic hit and Ghana suspended international flights. Parker had never felt so trapped in America. Wow. So she's talking about disinfecting her house, purging it, throwing everything away, she said, as soon as The borders open, I'm out. She plans to marry and stay in Ghana for the long haul. Parker had long sensed that racism was holding her back. Her credit was good. Why did that bank deny her a loan? Because they do that to us. It's not about your credit, it's about your skin. And her industry seemed to have a titanium ceiling. Maybe she didn't have to work twice as hard as her white peers to advance in Ghana. Everyone says Ghana has its problems too, she said. Of course it does. However, it's 63 years old. How old is America? We've had a minute to get this right. The headlines have exhausted Khadija Polly, 38, who owns a popcorn company in Houston. Her mind was lately strayed to Ghana, where one trip turned into a 3-year visa worth regular trips. Well, there you go. There you go. I mean, look, some of these people already had businesses in America, and now they can do those same businesses in Ghana. All right, so it's just a series of other people talking about how they want to leave America, and move to Ghana. It's talking about, the houses being gorgeous over there. And, of course, it's a much reasonable price. The houses in America are outrageous and they are not worth what you're paying for. They're not worth it. Trust me. You can go to other parts of the world with the same price tag they're offering. You can go to some parts of Africa and get a mansion for the same price. You'll get more house, and the house will have more value because it is a mansion. These houses over here in America, they're overpriced and they over exaggerate how good they are. And it's not what, it's like, again, it's smokescreen. Some houses are nice. I'm not going to deny that. But some of these houses are not worth the price tag that's on them. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. America is very overpriced. So, ladies and gentlemen, please tell me what you think about this story. Ghana welcoming Black Americans to come out of America and get away from all the racism and the harassment and just your daily stress that we have to put up with on a normal basis, because it was non-stop for 5 centuries. And ladies and gentlemen, if we sit here another 5 centuries, these people will sit and still stress us out for another 5 centuries unnecessarily. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.